Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining. We'll get started. We're offering our prayers of Mangalacharan verses and then we'll go ahead. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta-sārārtham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Guruve Gaura Chandra, Radhikaya Tadalai, Krishna Krishna Bhaktai, Tadbhaktai Namo Namaha. Anand Lila Maya Vigrahaya, Nima Padivya Chavi Sundaraya, Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya, Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Mukam karoti vācālam Gangum langāyate girim Yatkripahatam ham Vande Shri Guru Dīnatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, thank you once again for your very, very kind association. So we'll quickly get started. Today is very long chapter and this is chapter number 5 of Adi Lila, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. I'll share my screen. Yeah. So this is chapter number 5, which talks about the glories of Lord Nityananda Balaram. So, of course, there is no difference between Lord Nityananda and Lord Balaram. So this is the very first verse that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami composes. We all know that every chapter, the very first verse is personally composed by, in Sanskrit, it's composed by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So let's see what he says. Vandenantadbhutaishwaryam Shri Nityanandam Ishwaram Yasya Tatswarupam Ajnapi Nirupyate. So what he is saying? Vande. Vande refers to I bow down. I bow down to whom? I bow down to Shri Nityananda Ishwaran. I bow down to Lord Nityananda, who is Ishwaran, who is the Supreme Lord. He is non-different from Krishna. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Ishwara. Who has what? Who has Ananta Adbhuta Aishwaryam. His Aishwaryam, his opulence, is Anantam, is unlimited. And is Adbhuta, is very, very wonderful. Yasecha Tatsarupam Ajnapi Nirupyate. And just by his will, Yasecha, Yasya means about Lord Nityananda, by his will, knowing his Sarup, knowing his identity, means it's very easy to know his identity. But we can know only his identity by his own will. So, Yasecha Tatsarupam Ajnapi Nirupyate. by his sweet will. By his sweet will, even an Ajnan, even an ignorant, even a fool can understand the Surup, the identity of Lord Nityananda. So here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said that it's only by mercy of Lord, it's only by the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu that we can know his identity. Otherwise, it's very difficult to know the identity of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So this was the very first verse. After describing the first verse, now Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that there is no difference between Lord Nityananda and Lord Balaram. Sarva avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Taradu Itya Deha Shri Balarama. So Sarva avatari Krishna. Krishna is the Sarva avatari. He is the fountainhead of all the incarnations. We know there are so many incarnations of the Supreme Lord, and they are known as avatars. But Krishna is the avatari. He is the source of all incarnation. So Sarva avatari Krishna, he is what? He is Swayam Bhagavan. Tahara Dvitiya Deha, and is Lord Balaram. Tara Dvitiya Deha Shri Balaram. So Balaram is the second body of Lord Shri Krishna. And there is no difference between Nityananda Prabhu, between Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna. Eka hi swarup dohe bhinna matra kaya adya kaya vyuha Krishna lila rasahaya. There is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. They both are one. Ek hi swarup dohe. They both have the same identity. They both are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is the difference? Bhinna matra kaya. The only difference is the kaya, the complexion, the body of Krishna and Balaram. Krishna is what? He is Megha Shyama Varnam. He has the complexion of a freshly formed monsoon cloud. Megha Shyam, Ghanasham. And Lord Balaram is his kaya, his form is, his complexion is like a freshly formed spring cloud, white. Adya kaya vyuha Krishna lila rasahaya. And he assists Lord Shri Krishna's in all the transcendental pastimes. And that Balaram, who is non-different from Krishna, who has the same Swarup, same identity as Lord Shri Krishna, that Shri Krishna and Balaram, they both came in Navadvip. Sei Krishna Navadvipe Shri Caitanya Chandra Sei Balarama Sange Shri Nityananda. That original Lord Shri Krishna, who is Swayam Bhagavan, he is the one who came as Lord Chaitanya in Navadvip. And to assist Lord Chaitanya in his pastimes of Navadvip, our Lord Balaram came as Shri Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda is non-different from Lord Balaram. So after explaining all this, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami then moves on to the 7th Mangalacharan verse. Now, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says that I have already described about the glory of Lord Chaitanya in the first 6 verses we have seen. But now in 5 verses, so how many were total? There were 14 Mangalacharan verses that we are seeing that have been compiled by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And those 14 Mangalacharan verses, he is now expanding in all the chapters. So the 5th chapter deals with the next 5 Mangalacharan verses that describes the glory of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So he says that in the very first 6 verses, I have already described the glory of Lord Chaitanya. Now in the next 5 verses, I will be glorifying whom? I will be glorifying Nityananda Prabhu. So he starts with the 7th Mangalacharan verse. So today we'll cover 5 Mangalacharan verses if Lord Nityananda permits. So this is the normal meter that we sing Karpanya Dosho Pahata Svabhava. This is Trishtup meter. So we'll sing in the same meter. Sankarshana Karanato Yashai Garbhodashai Chapayobdishai Sheshascha Yasyam Shakala Sanitya Nandakhya Rama Sharanam Namastu. So our Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, I mamastu, I bow down. To whom? I bow down to Shri Nityananda Prabhu, who is Sankarshana. He is the Mahasankarshana in the spiritual sky. Karanatoshai, he is also the Karanodakshai Vishnu, the one who is lying on the Karana ocean. Garbhodashai, another form of Vishnu who is lying on Garbhodhak ocean. He is known as Garbhodashai Vishnu. Chapayobdishai, Abdi means ocean and Paya means the milk. One who is lying on the milk ocean, that is Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And as Shesha, Shesha means as Ananta Shesh. So all these means Sankarshana, Karanodakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, and Shesha. All these are what? Yasya Amsha Kala Sanitya. So they are Amsha and they are Kala. They are plenary portions and they are portions of the plenary portions of whom? Nityananda. They are the plenary portions of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Akhya Rama Sharanam Mamastu. Actually, he is Nityananda Ram. He is Lord Balaram or Nityananda. I bow down, I take shelter of him because all these means Sankarshan, Karanodakshai Vishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, and Shesha, Ananta Shesh, they all are his plenary portions and are portions of the plenary portions. They are his Kala and they are his Amshas. May Shri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshan, Sheshanag, and the Vishnus who lie on the Karna ocean, Garbha ocean, and ocean of milk. They are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. So some are his Amsha and some are his Amsha's Amsha, that is Kala. They are known as. Now this verse was actually composed by whom? By Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami. So he is the one who recorded this verse in his Karcha, in his diary, while offering his obeisances to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has included this verse as one of the 14 verses of 14 Manglacharan verses of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. After describing this, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Lord Balaram is the original Sankarshan. Shri Balarama Gosai Mula Sankarshana Pancharupadhari Karena Krishnera Sevana. Lord Balaram is the original Sankarshan and he assumes 5 other forms to serve Lord Shri Krishna. Now this chapter itself is very, very technical because we have to understand the identity of Lord Balaram. So what we will do is now we will understand what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wants to say. So what happens is Lord Shri Krishna, just to assist him in his pastimes, from his deha only, from his right side expands another deha that is known as Balaram. There is no difference. They both are same. That we have already seen. That there is no ek hi swarup dohe. They both are one swarup. Because Lord Balaram is expanding from the body of Lord Shri Krishna. Now, when Lord Balaram, he expands. Now, there, the job of Krishna is finished. After that, Krishna, from his left-hand side, comes Srimati Radharani. And she is the Aladini Shakti. So, Krishna enjoys all the pastimes of with Srimati Radharani. There, Lord Balaram helps in the entire creation process. So, how he helps, that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is explaining that this Balaram then further expands into 4. That is Mula Sankarshana, Mula Vasudev, Mula Pradyumna, and Mula Aniruddha. Okay. Now this Mula Sankarshana is the original Balaram. Okay. So he is saying, right, Shri Balaram Gosai Mula Sankarshana. So when Lord Balaram expands into 4, that is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, from that Sankarshan, which is known as Moola Sankarshan, because they are the original, right? So therefore they are known as Moola Vasudev, Moola Sankarshan, Moola Pradyumna, and Moola Aniruddha. So from that Moola Sankarshan comes who? Comes Narayan. That we will see later. But Balaram is that same Moola Sankarshan. And Pancha Rupadhari, Karena Krishnera Sevan. And he assumes the 5 forms. And he helps who? Krishna in the entire creation process. What are those 5 forms? First form we have seen that he comes as Mahasankarshan. But then in the Mangalacharan verse only he says, right? Sankarshana Karana Toishai Garbhodashai cha Payobdishai. So as Mahasankarshan he helps, and then he comes as he takes another form as Karanadakshay Vishnu, who lies on the Karana ocean. Then he helps as Garbhodakshay Vishnu, who lies on the Garbhodak ocean in all the universes. We will see all this in great detail. And then he helps in Kshirodakshay Vishnu as who lies on the Payobdi, on the milk ocean. And all these 4, they carry out the creation process. Now, Krishna's creation is carried out by these 4 forms. But he's saying Pancha Rupadhari. What is the Pancha form? What is the 5th form? That form is Shesha, also known as Ananta Shesha. Now, this Shesha means whatever is left. So after that creation, whatever is left, that is served by Lord Balaram in the form of Ananta Shesh. He is the servitor God. He is the one who serves Lord Shri Krishna in all the affairs. So we saw that Ekai Swarup Doye Bhinna Matra Kai, that their body effulgence is different. One is blackish, one is white as spring cloud. But there is another difference, and that difference is in the mood. Lord Shri Krishna is the Savior Bhagavan, and Lord Balaram is the Sevak Bhagavan. He always serves Lord Shri Krishna in rest of all the affairs of existence and knowledge. And this Lord Nityananda Prabhu is the same Lord Balaram who comes and assists Lord Gauranga in his association in his pastimes by his constant association. So we saw that Krishna comes as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Balaram comes as Lord Nityananda Prabhu and assists Gaurachandra in all the pastimes. So he's the companion. He comes as the companion of Lord Gauranga. So this is about this first Mangalacharan verse. That's all that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quotes. So these Mahashankarshan, Karanadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Kshirodakshay Vishnu, and then Shesha. These are the 5 forms in which Lord Balaram serves Lord Shri Krishna. Now he talks about another verse, that is the 8th Mangalacharan verse. This verse is in the meter Shalini, and 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Rest 4 of the verses are also the glorification of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, where he'll be describing all these 5 forms, and all 5 of them are in the Shalini meter, or 4 of them, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4 of them are in the meter Shalini. Mayati devyapi vaikunthaloke Purneshwaryeshi chaturvyuhamadhye Rupam yasyodbhati sankarshanakyam Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadde. So now he's saying Mayati devyapi vaikunthaloke. Maya, we know what is Maya, is illusionary potency of the Lord. That is material creation. But Maya Tite, like in Bhagavad Gita also we see the word Gunatita. Gunatit, one who is above the 3 modes of material nature. So Maya Tite, one who is beyond this material creation. What is there? Vyapi Vaikuntha Loke. There is another spiritual world that is known as Vaikuntha. So above this material creation, there is the spiritual world, which is known as Vaikuntha, and which is Sarvavyapi, which is all expanding, and you can see it in all the direction. Purneshwarye Shri Chaturvyuha Madhya. And then what happens? Who is situated in the Chaturvyuha Madhya? Chaturvyuha refers to Vasudev, Sankarshan, Anirudh, and Pradyumna. These are the four personalities that together known as Chaturvyuha. Madhya, in this Chaturvidya Madhya, is our Sankarshan, who is known as Moola Sankarshan. That Moola Sankarshan is Purna Aishwarya. He is also full of all the opulences because he is Swayam Bhagavan. He is Swayam Lord Balaram. Rupam Yasyubdhati Sankarshanakyam. And that Roop, that Moola is known as Mahasankarshan. So now he is explaining in the rest of the 4 verses the 4 ways in which Lord Balaram serves Krishna. So he's first talking about whom? Mahasankarshan. And that Mahasankarshan is the one who is situated in the Chaturvyuha Madhya, and he is he appears whom as Nityananda Ram. Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadde. I surrender unto that Shri Nityananda Ram. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, I surrender unto the lotus feet of Shri Nityananda Ram, who is known as Sankarshan in the midst of the Chaturvyuha, consisting of Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He is the one who possesses all Aishwarya, and he resides where? In Vaikuntha Loke, which is beyond this material creation, far beyond the material creation. So till now what we have learned, that from Krishna comes Balaram, and this Balaram then expands into 4 in Chaturvyuha, that is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. For our easiness, what we will name them as Moola, because they are the original. So Moola Sankarshan, Moola Vasudev, Moola Pradyumna, and Moola Aniruddha. And that Moola Sankarshan is Lord Balaram. He is non-different from Balaram. He is Shad Aishwarya, Purna Aishwarya he has, and he is present in the Vaikuntha Loka, and that is the same Balaram who comes as Lord Nityananda Prabhu to assist Gaura Chandra in his pastimes, and he is known as Nityananda Prabhu. This 8th verse is also from Srila Sarup Damodar Goswami's diary. So then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he starts explaining that beyond this material world, there is a Vaikuntha, which is Sarvavyapi, which is all-pervading. And there, Krishna, just like Krishna is having all the transcendental absolute, the opulence or the attributes, same this Vaikuntha Loka has all the opulences and the attributes. Now, this Vaikuntha is all-pervading, it is infinite, and it is also the supreme. And it is considered to be the residence of all the incarnations of Krishna. Okay, Krishna expanded himself, or he has so many incarnations, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Vamana. All the residents of all these incarnations of Lord Shri Krishna are there in this Vaikuntha planet. Now, this Vaikuntha planet is divided into 3 divisions. That first is known as Dwarka, Mathura, and Gokula. Okay, so there are Vaikuntha planets, and there are so many resident places of all the incarnations of Lord Shri Krishna. And all these Vaikuntha planets are there, but the 3 major ones are the, in the spiritual sky, there are, the highest is Krishna Loka, but that Krishna Loka also has 3 divisions. Okay, don't get confused. So beyond this material world, there is spiritual world. In that spiritual world, which is known as Vaikuntha Loka, there, that is the resident place for all the incarnations of Lord Shri Krishna. But in that Vaikuntha planet only, there is the highest abode of Lord Shri Krishna, which is known as Goloka Vrindavan. That is known as Krishna Loka. Now, this Krishna Loka has 3 divisions, Dwarka, Mathura, and Gokul. Because Krishna, when he comes in this material world, he has his pastimes in 3 different places. He has his Mathura pastimes, Dwarka pastimes, and Vrindavan pastimes. Similarly, in the spiritual world, this Krishna Lok, which is known as Krishna Lok, it is divided into three. That is Dwarka, Mathura, and Gokula. That Gokul which is present, that is the same as Vraja. Goloka, it is known as Goloka, sometimes known as Shweta-Deepa, sometimes known as Vrindavan. Okay, so we have Golok Vrindavan. That Golok Vrindavan is non-different from the Gokul Vrindavan, which is there in this Bhauma Vrindavan, which is there in this material world. There is no difference. They both are same. Okay, because Krishna, when he comes down, he comes with his dham, with his parshads. So there is no difference between that Golok Vrindavan and this Gokul Vrindavan. Okay. Brahma Samhita describes actually that this Golok Vrindavan, this is the highest kingdom of God, and it resembles like a lotus flower, which has the thousands of petals. And the outer portion of that lotus-like planet is a square planet, which is known as Shweta-Deep. So therefore, it is also known as Shweta-Deep. In the inner portion of that Goloka is an elaborate arrangement of Krishna's own personal residence, where he resides with Nanda, Yashoda, and all other associates. And that is known as Golok. Okay. And this transcendental abode of Lord Shri Krishna is sustained by whom? By Lord Balaram in the form of Anantashesh. So that abode is manifested by the Swechha, by the will of Lord Shri Krishna. And that same abode comes as Gokul when it comes as in Bhauma, in the earth planet when it comes. It is the same Goloka comes as Gokul. Okay, also known as Vrindavan. Now, this Vrindavan, what we see here and that in the spiritual world, they both are the Chintamani Dham. It's the land of touchstone. And all the forest, all the trees that are there in this Dham, they are known as Kalpataru. They are the wish-fulfilling desire trees. The one which is there on the earth planet, it is non-different from the original spiritual Golok. But our material eyes cannot see it. They consider this as an ordinary place, as an ordinary geographical place that is there in India, in Vrindavan. Why? Because our eyes are materially conditioned. So therefore, one of our Acharya, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, actually says this, that if we really have to understand the present Vrindavan that we have here in UP, which is Vrindavan, the Bhauma Vrindavan, the Gokul Vrindavan, which is non-different from Goloka, we cannot see it unless and until we give up the mentality of lording over the nature. If we have a slightest of this mentality of lording it over material nature, where we think ourselves to be superior, then we cannot see this Golok Vrindavan, this Gokul Vrindavan, which is on the earth planet, same as Golok Vrindavan. Though it is same, but it has a very thin line covering by Yoga Maya. So when we go to here, we go to Vrindavan, in Uttar Pradesh and UP, what we see is a geographical tract of land. And those who go to Vrindavan, they either go for some trip or for some enjoyment. And therefore, what they see is just they see some few temples, the deities, they see the pigs around, they see the dirtiness. Why? Because that's the covering of Yoga Maya. If we really want to see Vrindavan in actuality, which is non-different from that Golok Vrindavan in the spiritual world, then we need the eyes also, the eyes which are anointed by Prema. Then only we can see its real identity. Then the Dham will reveal itself to us, where we will see Lord Shri Krishna still performing his pastimes with all the cowherd boys and the cowherd girls and his uppercut lila. Yes, Krishna has winded up his pastimes officially, apparently, but still Krishna performs his pastimes with his cowherd boys and cowherd girls in this Bhauma Vrindavan. But in Aprakat lila, but we have to have the eyes to see. Therefore, when we go to Dham, it has been recommended that we should not see Dham with our eyes, because our eyes are imperfect. We have imperfect senses. Our eyes are imperfect. So we will not see actual Dham. We will see just a place. But if we want to see Dham, we should see it with our ears, when we hear the glories of Dham. Then we will understand. So all these four quadruples, that is, we have seen Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, they are the primary quadruples, and they are manifested from whom? From Lord Balaram. And they are all transcendental, and they are all in service of Lord Śrī Krishna. But in these three forms, in these three places, that is Dwarka, Mathura, and Goloka, Lord Śrī Krishna performed all his pastimes, endless pastimes, with all his associates. Now, what happens next? From that Mahasankarshan, right? Moola Sankarshan. We said that we call them as Mool. Even Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also says as Moola Sankarshan. From that Moola Sankarshan, who is expanding from Balaram, from that Mool Sankarshan comes another identity that is known as Lord Narayan. And he is also in the spiritual sky, in the Vaikuntha planet. His identity is Lord Narayan. Krishna is two-handed, but this Narayan is four-handed. He holds what? Conch shell, disc, club, and lotus. He holds this. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. And he has all the opulence. He is also Shadaishwarya of Moon. And he has three Shaktis that are assisting this Narayan. What are the three Shaktis? Shri, Bhu, and Nila Shakti. Nila Shakti is also regarded as Lila Shakti, the pastime that helps Narayan in performing his pastimes. Otherwise, his two energies are there who are always serving at the lotus feet, Shri Shakti and Bhu Shakti. So especially in the South India, you must have seen Lord Narayan always being assisted by Shri Shakti and Bhu Shakti. Now, this Narayan is the one who perform all his activities, all the pastimes, and he is also the one who is giving liberation to all the living entities, all the fallen living entities, in the form of four muktis that are known as Salokya, Samipya, Sashti, and Sarupya. What is Salokya? Giving them the same planet in which Lord Narayan himself resides. Samipya, giving them the opportunity to be in the close association of Lord Narayan. Sarshti, having the same opulence as that of Lord Narayan. And Sarupya, having the same form as that of Lord Narayan. So we know that all the Vaikuntha-vasis, they are all four-handed forms. They all wear yellow dhotis. They all have Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. They all look exactly same that of Lord Narayan. What is the difference? The only difference is the Kaustubha Mani that the Supreme Lord Narayan wears, and the Srivatsa mark, the mark of the goddess Lakshmi Devi on the chest of Lord Narayan. That's the only two difference. Otherwise, appearance-wise, they all are the same. All Vaikuntha-vasis, they are same as Lord Narayan. They all are four-handed forms, and they all hold this Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma in their hand. Okay. After describing this, then Krishnadas Kaviraj describes that all those who are serving Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha, they are known as liberated souls. Why? Because now they are in the Vaikuntha. But there are two kinds of liberated souls. One person is liberated, one jiva is liberated by the favor of the Lord, and the another jiva is liberated by his own effort. So one who is liberated by his own effort is known as an impersonalist. And therefore, his destination is not Vaikuntha. His destination is that he merges into the glaring effulgence of the Lord, which is known as Brahma Jyoti. Okay. Now, where this Brahma Jyoti is beyond Vaikuntha, if we come from upwards to downwards, we see that first is Krishna Loka, that is Goloka, and then we have our Mathura, Dwarka, then all the Vaikuntha planets, and beyond that Vaikuntha planets is the Brahma Jyoti, which is just the effulgence of the Supreme Lord. So all those people who are liberated on their own accord, by their own sadhana, they don't understand the exact position of Narayan, and therefore they are known as impersonalist, and they just merge into the glaring effulgence of the Supreme Lord, which is known as Brahma Jyoti. But those who devote the Lord, who qualified themselves for liberation by devotional service, by the mercy of Lord Shri Krishna, they are offered these four, which is known as Salokya, Samipya, Sashti, and Sarupya. These are the four liberations, muktis, or you can say, that are being granted to such jivatmas by the Lord himself. Now, those who have attained this Sayujya Mukti, means those who have merged into that glaring effulgence of the Supreme Lord, they cannot go and get any entrance into Vaikuntha planet, because there they are stuck for eternity. It's not that they can roam around from one planet to another. If they have merged in that Brahma Jyoti, they cannot gain entrance into Vaikuntha, because this Brahma Jyoti is the residence which is outside the Vaikuntha planet. Okay, it is spiritual by nature, definitely, but it does not have very many spiritual varieties. It doesn't have variegatedness. The jivas there doesn't have the reciprocal relationship with the Supreme Lord. Those who are in Vaikuntha, they serve the Supreme Lord. They serve Narayan in the form of Dasya Bhav. In this Dasya Bhav, in this awe and reverence, they serve Lord Narayan. But those who are in this Brahma Jyoti, they are merged into Brahma Jyoti. That region is also known as sometimes Siddha Loka, Brahma Loka, or Brahman effulgence, Brahman platform, or Siddha Loka. It's very much spiritual, but it doesn't have the spiritual variegatedness. It doesn't have the varieties. It is just like a homogeneous effulgence of the sun. That's Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes. Okay. Now, after that, what happened is the spiritual sky. In the spiritual sky, there are varieties of pastimes that Krishna or Lord Narayan performs with their spiritual energy, also known as lila Shakti or Nila Shakti. Right? But outside the Vaikuntha planet, there is nothing. It is just an impersonal reflection of that light. Now then, who goes to this Sayujya Mukti? Who gets this Sayujya Mukti? Then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that actually those demons who are killed by the Lord, they attain this realm. That's the only compassion that Lord Shri Krishna gives even to the demons. The demons sometimes, yes, they get the higher abode, but mostly they are in the same realm as that of this Sayujya Mukti. Okay. So this is what we have to understand. So we have till now understand the 8th Mangalacharan verse, 7th and 8th, in which 8th it is being described about Lord Narayan, about Mula Sankarshan. And this Mula Sankarshan is one of the it's in the midst of this Chaturvyuha, and it is beyond the opulence and residence of Vaikuntha Loka, and it is also the source of Lord Narayan. So from this Mula Sankarshana comes Lord Narayan. I hope it's clear. Now comes the 9th Mangalacharan verse. We may take little extra time today, so please bear with me. So 9th Mangalacharan verse talks about now whom that we will see. Maya bhartan janda sanga shanga shete sakshat karna bodhi madhye yasyai shashi pumanadi devas tam shri nityananda ramam prapadye. So now he's saying Maya Bharata. Bharata means the master. master of Maya, master of the illusionary energy. Who is he? Aja Janda Sangha. He is the one from whom Aja Anda. Anda refers to the universes. And Sangha, not one, but multitude of universes are coming out from his body, from his Anga. Okay, from his Anga, from the pores of his body, multitude of universes are coming out. And these multitude of universes, they are the shelter of this personality whom we'll be talking about. Who is this? Shete Sakshat Karanam Bodhi Madhya. He is lying. Shete means he is lying. He is lying where? In the Karana ocean, in the midst of causal ocean. And he is known as Karana Udakshayi Vishnu. So Karana refers to cause. Udak refers to the fluid, the causal ocean. And Shai means he's lying down. So Karana Udak Shai Vishnu. Okay. Yasyai Kamsha Shri Puman Adi Devas. And he is one of the Amsha, just one portion of that Adi Deva, that Supreme Lord, who is Nityananda Prabhu. Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadya. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose partial representation called Karana Udakshayi Vishnu is there, and he is lying on the Karana ocean. He is the original Purusha. He is the Maya Bharata. He is the master of the illusory energy, and he is the shelter of all universes. Now, where this Karana ocean is coming and where this Karana Dakshayi Vishnu is coming from, that we will see. So, when we see about Lord Narayan, right? So, Krishna, Balaram, then from Balaram comes the Moola Sankarshan, Mool Aniruddha, Mool Pradyumna, and Mool Vasudev. From Moola Sankarshan comes Lord Narayan. Then this Lord Narayan expands into second Chaturvyuha, the second quadruple, which is known as Maha Vasudev, Maha Sankarshan, Maha Anirudh, and Maha Pradyumna. Okay. So this is the second quadruple expansion that comes from Lord Narayan. Now, from this second quadruple expansion, Mahasankarshan is the one who expands himself into the first Purusha avatar, which is known as Karana Udakshayi Vishnu. So from Mahasankarshan comes who? Karana Udakshayi Vishnu. So this Karana Udakshayi Vishnu is just an Amsha of Lord Balaram. Okay, and where is this situated? So outside the Vaikuntha, we know that there is Brahman effulgence, which is beyond the effulgence, and beyond this is actually this Karana ocean. So this entire Vaikuntha is surrounded by the mass of water. This mass of water, it is endless, unfathomed, and it is unlimited. And this ocean is what is known as Karana ocean, the causal ocean. It has been described that this Karana ocean is filled with earth, water, air, fire, and ether. But these are not the material ones, but these are the spiritual. Spiritual. They are the materials, they are the earth, water, air, fire, they are the Vaikunthas. They belong to Vaikuntha. Huh? They are all spiritual in nature. And material elements are not found there. So that is what is the Karana ocean. This water of the Karana ocean is the original cause, and it is very, very spiritual. It has nothing to do with material. And even our sacred Ganga is just one drop of this Karana ocean. And there our Supreme Lord lies as Karana Udakshayi Vishnu, the first Purusha avatar. He is the one who is the causes of all the universes. He is the first incarnation, and he is the one who glances over Maya, the Pradhan. He glances over, and then the Prakriti gets manifested. So Maya Shakti, she is the one who resides outside this Karana ocean. But this waters of Karana ocean cannot touch this Maya. But Prakriti is what? It's just a dull matter, right? So it cannot be the cause of all the material world. Naturally, there should be someone who is the cause of this material. The Prakriti on its own cannot do anything. She's always under the superintendence of Lord Sri Krishna. Example, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives that just as the earthen pot is there, but what is the cause of that earthen pot? The cause of earthen pot is not the wheel. The cause of earthen pot is not the mud. Yes, they are one of the causes, but the real cause is the potter. If we have all the ingredients, if we have all the instruments, but still the pot cannot be made unless and until potter is there. Similarly, the Purusha avatar, the first Purusha avatar, who is known as Karana Dakshai Vishnu or Mahavishnu, also known as Mahavishnu, he is the first Purusha and he is the cause of all the material world, because he is the one who cast his glance on this Maya from a distance and thus impregnates her with the seed of life in the form of all the living entities. So all the living entities are where? They are in the abdomen of Karana Udakshay Vishnu. And he is the one who is impregnating this Maya with all the jivas in the form of all the living entities. When this Purusha exhales, now he is breathing in this Karana ocean, in this causal ocean. Now when he is breathing, he exhales. And when he exhales, means when he is breathing out, then all the universes are getting manifested with each and every breath. Now, he is not just breathing through his nostrils. He is breathing from every pore of his body. So therefore, multitude of universes are coming out from his body. Okay, from every pore of the skin of this Purusha, these universes are coming out from his body. And who is he? He is just an amsha of that Lord Nityananda or Balaram. I hope it's clear till now. Now comes the 10th Mangalacharan verse, again in the same meter. Yasyam shamsa shilago garbho dakshai yanna bhyabjam loka sanghatanalam loka shrashtu sutikadham dhatus tam Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta-sārārtham prapadde. Now this Karana Dakshai Vishnu, when he exhales, all the universes comes into being. And he is the one who is casting his glance on Maya and impregnating that Maya with all the living entities, with all the jivas. His amsha means Karana Dakshai Vishnu's amsha is what is. He further expands as Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. Garbho Dakshai. Shai means again he's lying down. Where he is lying down? He is lying down on the Garbhadak ocean. Right? And from his navel, Nabhyabjam, from his Nabhi, from his navel comes out a lotus stem, a lotus flower. And in that, first the stem comes out and then the lotus flower. In the stem that comes out from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu are all the planets. So the 14 planetary system that we see in the universe, they are present in the stem of that lotus flower, which is coming out from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Okay. And on that lotus flower comes whom? Is the birthplace of Lord Brahma. Loka Shrashtu Shrutikadhama Dhatus. He is the one which is the birthplace of the original creator of this material world. Okay, and that is Lord Brahma. So Śrī Nityananda Ramam Prapadde. I bow down to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, a partial part of whom is Garbhodakshai Vishnu. From the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu sprouts the lotus, that is the birthplace of Brahma, the engineer of the universe. The stem of that lotus is the resting place of the multitude of planets. So all these 14 planetary systems, where they are located? They are located in the stem of, which is coming out, the stem of the lotus flower, which is coming out from the Nabhi, from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Who is this Garbhodakshai Vishnu? Yasya Amsha Amsha. It is not the direct expansion. It is not just the Amsha. Who is the Amsha? Karanodakshai Vishnu is the Amsha. Now, this Garbhodakshai Vishnu is Amsha's Amsha. So it is not the plenary portion. It is the portion of the plenary portion. Right? He is Yasya Amsha Amsha, and he is known as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Now, this Garbhodakshai Vishnu means the expansion of Mahavishnu, the Karanodakshai Vishnu. He enters into every universe. So, Karanodakshai Vishnu, when he exhales, what happens? All the multitude of universes comes into being. Every universe will have his separate Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So when this Vishnu enters into that universe, what he founds only darkness that is prevailing. And there is no place for him to reside anywhere. Then he starts considering, now what should I do? Where should I go? Where should I lie down? Then from his own perspiration, from his own sweat, he creates a big water body that fills half of the universe. And this perspiration, this water that he fills from his own body, he fills half of the entire universe, is known as Garbhodak. Okay, so this is Garbhodak ocean on which he lies, Vishnu lies, and therefore he is known as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And every universe measures 500 million yojanas. Length and breadth, they are one and the same. So after filling half of the universe with his own water, he takes the residence there. On whom? On the bed of Lord Shesha, the Ananta Shesha. So he lay there with Ananta on his bed. And Lord Ananta, who is he? He is the divine serpent having thousands of heads, thousands of faces, thousands of eyes, and thousands of hands and feet. He is basically the seed of all the incarnations who are the cause of the material world. And from his navel, from this Garbhodakshai Vishnu's navel, comes the lotus flower. And he is also known as the super soul or Hiranyagarbha, the cause of the material world. And he is known as the super soul of that universe. So one universe super soul is known as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Okay. Now comes the 11th Mangalacharan verse. Yes. Yasyam sham sham saparma paraparat pratatmakhilam poshta vishnur bhati dugdabdishai shauni bhartayat kala supyantas tam shri nityananda ramam prapadde. Now, Garbhodakshai Vishnu is settled. He has created Brahma. He has created all the 14 planetary systems. Now what happens? So Brahma is creating. Now somebody has to maintain that universe. For the maintenance, his Yasyamsha Amsha's Amsha. So first Amsha was Karanodakshai Vishnu. His Amsha's Amsha is Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And his Amsha's means plenary portion of the plenary portion, and the portion of the plenary portion is what is known as Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who is lying where? Dugdabdhishai, he is lying on the milk ocean. And where he is lying on? He is lying on Anantashesh, who is upholder of the earth. He is Shauni Bharta, and he is the Kala. He is not just the Amsha, he is known as Kala. And he is also lying on Ananta Shesh. And Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadde, because he is Amsha's Amsha. So, which is known as Kala. Okay, so I offer my respectful obeisances unto the feet of Śrī Nityananda Ram, whose secondary part is the Vishnu lying in the ocean of milk. That Kshirodakshai Vishnu is the super soul, Paratma Khilanam. He is the Akhilanam. He is present in the heart of all the living entities as the super soul. And he is Shauni Bharta. He is the maintainer of that universe. Sheshanaga is his further subpart on whom he is lying. Okay. Now, so every universe will have his own Garbhodakshai Vishnu and will have his own Kshirodakshai Vishnu. That is what is explained in this 11th Mangalacharan verse. So, as the material planet rests within the stem that grows from the navel of Lord Narayan, from Garbhodakshai Vishnu, among these planets also there are 7 oceans. Okay. And in one of the 7 oceans is what is known as Milk Ocean, which is also known as Shwetadeep of this material world, is the place where our Kshirodakshai Vishnu lies. Okay, so there are 7 oceans: the ocean of salt water, the ocean of milk, ocean of yogurt, the ocean of clarified butter, ocean of sugarcane juice, ocean of liquor, and the ocean of sweet water. So in the ocean of milk, Payobdhi lies is where our Kshirodakshai Vishnu resides. And when all the demigods, when they are in problem, they approach who? They approach Lord Brahma. This Lord Brahma, he takes all the demigods and he goes to the shore of Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Okay, he cannot enter into that water. He cannot go near to Kshirodakshai Vishnu. He only stands at the shore of that milk ocean and he calls out his Purusha Shukta prayers. He calls upon the Supreme Lord, and there he gets a glance, or sometimes he hears the voice of Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Okay, so he is the super soul of all the living entities. So Brahma also cannot directly approach. He can just be at the shore of Kshirodakshai Vishnu, calling upon the Lord by his Purusha Shukta prayers. I hope this is clear. So the super soul of all of one particular universe is Garbhodakshai Vishnu, but in that universe there are so many living entities, and the super soul of all the living entities is what is known as Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Okay. Now, after describing this, then he described, so he has described Lord Nityananda serving Lord Balaram, serving Lord Shri Krishna in the 4 forms: Mahasankarshan, as Karanodakshai Vishnu, as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, as Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Right? But he says Pancharupadhari. What is the 5th one? The 5th one is Shesha. So whatever is left, apart from this creation process, that is also maintained by Lord Balaram. Sometimes Lord Balaram serves as umbrella, sometimes as his slippers, sometimes as his bedding, sometimes as his pillow, his garments, his resting chair, his sacred thread, his residence, his throne. All this work is carried out by Lord Anantashesh, and who is the expansion of Lord Balaram. Okay, he takes many forms to serve Lord Shri Krishna. So therefore, he is known as Savior Bhagavan. After describing this, our service, these are the services that are performed by Nityananda Prabhu. Ei Rupa Nityananda Ananta Prakasha Sei Bhave Kahi Mui Chaitanya Radasa. Thus, Lord Nityananda has unlimited incarnations, and in transcendental emotion, he calls himself as Chaitanya Radas, as a servant of Lord Shri Chaitanya, because this is Lord Chaitanya is same as Lord Shri Krishna. Kabhu Guru, Kabhi Sakha, Kabhu Bhritya Lila, Purve Yena, Tina Bhave Vraje Kaila Khela. Sometimes he serves as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his Guru, sometimes as his friend, sometimes as his servant, just as Lord Balaram played with Lord Shri Krishna in these different moods in Vraja. So sometimes Balaram is in the parental bhav, sometimes in his Guru bhav, sometimes in his Sakha bhav. But in all these bhavs, just like Balaram serves Krishna, same Lord Nityananda also serves Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But otherwise, Lord Shri Krishna is alone the original, the supreme controller. Ekele Ishwara Krishna ara sab bhritya yara yaiche nacha aise thaiche kare nitya. Lord Shri Krishna is the supreme controller and all the others are his servants. They dance as he makes them dance. Ei Mata Chaitanya Gosai Ekela Ishvara Ara Saba Parsheda Ke Havika Kinkara. Similarly, just like Krishna is the only Ishvara and all others are servants, similarly, Chaitanya Gosai is the only controller and all the other are his associates and all the other are his Kinkara, are his servants. Moving ahead. Nityananda Swarupa formally appeared as Lakshmana. So this also has been cleared by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Nityananda Swarupa Purve Haya Lakshmana Laghu Bhrata Haya Kare Ramera Sevana. That Nityananda Prabhu in Treta Yuga appeared as Lakshman and served Lord Ramachandra as his younger brother. But when he served Lord Ramachandra as younger brother, there was one thing. What was it? Ramera charitra sabha dukkhera karana swatantra lilaya dukha sahena Lakshmana. The activities of Lord Ram were full of sufferings, but Lakshman of his own accord tolerated that suffering, being a younger brother of Lord Ramachandra. After serving as Lakshman, he decided, and from here onwards, I am not going to serve you as your younger brother. So then what happens? Krishnera avatara jeshta haila sevara karana Krishna ke karila nana sukha asvadana. Then Lord Shri Krishna, when he appeared, then Balaram, he came as his elder brother to serve him to his heart's content and make him enjoy all sorts of happiness. So sometimes we see as younger brother, sometimes we see as his older brother. But actually, Nityananda Mahima Sindhu Ananta Para Ekakana Sparshi Matra Se Kripa Tahara. The ocean of Nityananda's glory is infinite and unfathomable. Only by his mercy, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that I can simply touch the water, even a drop of water that I have touched in glorification of Nityananda Prabhu is all because of the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So when he came as a younger brother, he thought that from here onwards, I will not tolerate all this. And he made this resolution that I'll come as the Jeshta, as the elder brother. So though Krishna and Balaram, sometimes they present themselves as younger brother, sometimes as elder brother, but in the scriptures, they both are the supreme personality of Godhead. There is no difference between Krishna and Balaram, and the only difference is his mood and the complexion. That's the only difference. Otherwise, they both are Shad Aishwarya Purna Bhagavan. Okay. Now, the time doesn't allow me. So after that, there is a very beautiful pastime that comes. Okay. And that pastime we will see maybe next week. We'll continue with the same chapter. Or I don't know what all of you say. It will take another 5-10 minutes. If you allow me, then I can finish the chapter itself. So I need all of your suggestion because I don't want to hold on to all of you.
Yes,
if you can
continue, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, please continue, Mataji.
Okay, then I'll finish in another 10-15 minutes and we'll finish the chapter. Okay. So now he's saying, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that the mercy of Lord, the glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, it's infinite. Okay. And I cannot describe those glories. Okay. It's impossible for me. It's unfathomable. Only by the mercy that I have touched the glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Now, to disclose this, the glory of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he said that I will share something very, very confidential. And this confidential thing is his own pastime that happened with Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So he says that now I'm going to narrate something that happened with me so that I can prove that Sri Nityananda Ram is the highest and his mercy is the only mercy of which I am made up of. That's what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says. So he says that Lord Nityananda Prabhu had a servant, and his servant name is Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta-sārārtham, okay, who is actually the reservoir of love. So at the house of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, there was Sankirtan that was happening day and night. There was Sankirtan, and many Vaishnavas would come, and they were invited, and they all will absorbed in that emotional love. They'll sing, they'll dance, and Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami would get the opportunity to bow down to all the Vaishnavas' lotus feet. And anyone who sees Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta-sārārtham, who was the servant of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, automatically the tears start flowing from their eyes just by seeing this personality. Why? Because his eyes were always anointed with the tears of love for Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And he would always shout the name of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and all the like Nitai, Nitai, he will shout, and all the people who were there, they will be struck with wonder and with that astonishment, and they themselves will be overwhelmed with that great ecstasy. So one fine day, what happens is, like other days, the Vaishnavas, they came along with this personality, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta-sārārtham, who was the very dear servant of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. On that day, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that there was one Brahmana whose name was Gunar Mishra. He was serving the deity. So when Meena Ketan Ramdas came and seated, that Brahmana did not pay any respect. So Ramdas, he became very, very angry, and he spoke. What he said? Oh, here I find another Romaharshana Sutta who did not stand to show honor when he saw Lord Balaram. Because he was the direct servant of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, so he thought that I have not been given any respect, any honor. So here he is the another Romaharshana Sutta. We know this pastime of Romaharshana Sutta. I'll not go in detail. So this is another Romaharshana Sutta, who Balaram, when he came, he didn't stand, and he was killed by Lord Balaram. But don't think that Ramadas was expecting any honor. But it was on the part of this Brahmana who didn't show any respect, and he was busy doing his deity worship. So after saying this, Meena Ketan Ramdas, he got silent, and he started doing his own Sankirtan, dancing and getting himself very, very ecstatic. So, but Ramdas, from his heart, he was not happy. And then he said that he rebuked my brother. So he said that Nityananda Prabhu, if you do not believe in Nityananda Prabhu and you just believe in Mahaprabhu, then that means you don't have the real faith. So Ramdas, he told Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami that these two brothers, Nityananda Prabhu and Gaurachandra, they are transcendental brothers. They are like one body. If you do not believe in Nityananda Prabhu, you will definitely fall down. If you have faith in one and you disrespect other, then it is just like the logic of accepting half a hen. Half a hen means the farmer who is just interested in half of the part of the body where the hen gives egg. But he is not interested in the front part of the body of the hen where he has to feed the hen. So that logic doesn't apply. If you have the hen, you have to support both the sides of the hen. So accepting half a hen is no logic. But if somebody believes in Gaurachandra and doesn't have any respect for Nityananda Prabhu, then he says it's just like the logic of accepting half a hen. So in anger, what Sri Ramdas did, he broke his flute and he went away. And at that time, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said that my brother had a fall down. And this all happened in the village which is known as Jamatapur. And this Lord Nityananda Prabhu, what happens is that night he appeared in the dream of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And he said, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was very happy when he saw Nityananda Prabhu in his dream. He bowed down to Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu said, no, you get up, get up. And as soon as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami saw Lord Nityananda Prabhu, what he saw, very beautifully Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes that he had a glossy blackish complexion. Just now we said that Nityananda Prabhu has the white complexion. But Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in his dream saw Nityananda Prabhu as a blackish complexion, very, very heroic, very beautifully. His hands were formed, his legs, his arms, his eyes were like lotus flowers. And he was anointed with sandalwood pulp. He was very nicely decorated with tilak. And his face was very, very beautiful. His teeth were resembling like a pomegranate seeds because he was chewing betel. And constantly he was chanting Krishna, 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 Krishna. So then Nityananda Prabhu, he told Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in his dream, "Oh dear Krishnadas, do not be afraid. Go to Vrindavan and there you will attain whatever is to be attainable by you." So after saying this, he disappeared, and it was morning time. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami got up, and finally he thought that in my dream, Lord Nityananda Prabhu directed me personally to go to Vrindavan. So early in the morning, he left everything and he started for Vrindavan. That very second he started, and there Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that it is by the mercy of Lord Nityananda only that I got an entrance in Vrindavan. And not only the entrance, I got the association, I got the shelter of the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatan Goswami. And then he met Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. And this Raghunath Das Goswami, we know that how he would recite the charitra, the pastimes of Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami will himself write notes on it. And it's only by the mercy of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami that he got the entire lila pastimes. He got to know the lila pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. All the devotional conclusion he learned from Srila Sanatan Goswami. And he also tasted the highest nectar of devotional service by Srila Rupa Goswami. Because Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami were also instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they gave the essence of what they learned from Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So Krishnadas Goswami is totally overwhelmed with gratitude for Lord Nityananda Prabhu, because he said it's Nityananda Prabhu only who directed me to go to Vrindavan. And when I came to Vrindavan, I got the association of Srila Rupa, Srila Sanatan and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. But then in utter humility, he says, Jagai madai haite mui sipa pishta, puri shera kirtad haita mui salagishta. I am more sinful than Jagai and Madai, and I am even lower than the worms in the stool. See the humility of author. Mora nama shune ye tara punya shaya, mora nama laya ye tara papa haya. Anyone who hears my name, he loses the results of his pious activities. See how humble the author is. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, who is Kasturi Manjari. The identity of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the spiritual world is that he is Kasturi Manjari, who is serving under Rupa Manjari, directly the divine couple. And he's the one who's saying, anyone who hears my name actually loses their all pious activities, the results of their pious activities. And anyone who utters my name, he becomes sinful. This is the real, genuine humility of the author. It's not that he's simply making up, but this is his genuine humility that he's saying. And he is glorifying Lord Shri Krishna. He's giving credit, all credits to Lord Nityananda. And he's saying, Emana ni ghrina mora keba kripa kare eka Nityananda vinu jagata bhitare. Who in this world but Nityananda could show his mercy to such an abominable person as me? So in humility, he's saying, but actually this is true. Lord Nityananda Prabhu can show mercy to anyone and everyone. He doesn't consider their eligibility. He doesn't consider their patra. They don't consider whether this person is eligible or not. But Nityananda Prabhu, he distributes this mercy of Krishna Prem freely to everyone. So this is the glory. Then he says, Yara prana dhana Nityananda Śrī Caitanya Radha Krishna Bhakti Vine Nahi Jane Anya. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are the life and soul of those Vaishnavas who do not know anything but devotional service to Sri Radha and Krishna. If we have to approach Sri Radha and Krishna, the only way to approach is by the mercy of Sri Gaurasundar and Sri Nityananda. Without their mercy, we cannot serve Radha and Krishna. Those today, when they go to Vrindavan and they proclaim that, oh, we are just the worshippers of Srimati Radharani, we are just the worshippers of Radha and Krishna. And if they forget to worship or acknowledge the works of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Gaurasundar, they cannot get the mood or the service of Sri Radha and Krishna. Because today is what Vrindavan we see is being established by the servants of Gaurasundar. He was the one who has sent Srila Rupa, Srila Sanatana and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami to go and to excavate all the holy places and to establish temples there, to establish the real Vrindavan which was there 5,000 years ago. So it's because of the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, the Vrindavan that we see today is there. So if we are in this devotional line of serving Shri Radha and Krishna, then it is only possible by the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. Nityananda Prabhu Raguna Mahima Apara Sahasravadane Shesha Nahi Payayara. He says this glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu is unlimited. They are unfathomable. Today I have described only in the 5 verses, but actually even Lord Shesha Ananta, who has thousands of mouths, cannot find the limit to the glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So this is the mood of our author. Finally, he ends this chapter by his most celebrated verse, Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha Caitanya-caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasa. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, following in their footsteps. So we'll end here. Thank you all so much for tolerating me 20 minutes extra. So we have finished this 5th chapter, and with this 5th chapter, we have finished the 11 Mangalacharan verses that were quoted by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And what will happen in the 12th Mangalacharan verse, that we will see next Monday. Thank you all so much. Vancha kalpatarupescha kripa sindhuva evacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, all the essential Vaishnavas ki jai.
Kirtida Mataji ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.